Hi. Instead of talking about new verbs this week, I'm taking some viewers and students' questions about the differences in verbs that seem quite similar. So in this video, we're going to talk about the verbs see, look, and watch. Let's begin with some basic definitions. I first want to note that see, look, and watch have a number of different definitions, and I'll link to my other videos that discuss each of these verbs in greater details. But for this video's purpose, I really want us to think about see, meaning that we are perceiving with our eyes. We're using our sense of sight. And then when we use look, we're really talking about directing one's gaze or one's sight towards someone or something, or maybe we're directing our gaze in a certain direction. Finally, when we use the verb watch, you see here that it means to look or observe attentively. So all three verbs here have something that's a bit similar, right? We're talking about our eyes and using them in slightly different ways. And now we're going to sort of begin to explore some of those things that are different. And what's different about these three verbs really relies on our action and our attention. So you might think of focus in a way here. So when we think about the verb see, it's really the most passive, right? The idea here is I have my eyes open and something comes into my vision, into my line of sight. The verb look does require a little more action, right? Maybe we need to direct our eyes in a particular way. We need to turn our head to look in a particular direction or to look at something. Generally, this action can be done rather quickly, and it might just be a single instance. So something just happening once for a short amount of time. Watch, though, is going to require greater action and attention. So here, many times we're thinking about someone paying attention for some period of time. That could be minutes, hours, perhaps even longer than that. So now let's talk in a little more specific detail about the verb see. And one thing to sort of pay attention to is that many times as people use see, either as they're writing or speaking, what you're going to hear after that verb or see after that verb is an object. So I've got a couple examples of this. And you can see I'm using all kinds of different verb tenses. So here, will you see your father when you are in Mexico? So your father is the object. Will you see? Okay. Another example here, I saw a squirrel. Okay. Squirrel is my object. Or third example, an imperative, a command. Maybe you've had a teacher say this to you. It usually makes many students scared. Please see me after class. Me is the object. But it's also important to note you do not have to use an object after see. I've got a couple more examples here. You might hear someone tell you to wait and see, or might used as a bit of an exclamation, see, right? I was right, we are out of milk, right? So I open the refrigerator and I'm telling someone to use their sight to see the lack of a carton or container of milk. Now let's examine the verb look. So generally what you see after the verb look in any verb tense is going to be either a preposition or an adverb. I've got a few more examples here. Have you looked for your car keys? Okay. Another example, don't look down. Down here is an adverb describing in a particular direction. Another example, she looked at him as he spoke. Okay, so again, different verb tenses, very common to see the prepositions and and adverbs after the verb look. And what you likely hear a great deal of is look at. That's a really common usage for this particular verb. And many times it's done in the imperative. And we're following that imperative with an object. An example of this, look at this, right? Or don't look at the answer key. That's something as a teacher I've told my students, right? I just want you to think about your answers. Don't look at the answer key yet. But again, you don't have to have an object after look at in the imperative. If you don't have an object, then you don't need the preposition at, right? You could just say, look, it's starting to rain. Right? So we're trying to get someone's attention. We want them to direct their eyes, direct their gaze to see something. Okay? Here are some more additional details about the verb watch. Generally, what you see after this verb in a sentence is another object. So I've got a few more examples here. Do your kids watch cartoons? Cartoons is my object. I watched the birds while I had coffee on the deck. Right? The birds here are my object. Right? So I'm paying attention for a greater amount of time. An example of this: can you watch my purse while I go to the bathroom? So this is something I say to my husband when we're out at restaurants or different things. I don't think he likes it, but I want him to pay attention. I don't want to lose it or lose what's inside of it. And again, like our verb see, watch does not have to be followed by an object. So an example might be, I won't play the game, I'll just watch. So maybe some people are going to play cards, right? I'm not going to participate, right? But I'm going to pay attention as the game occurs or happens. So I'm always unsure when I'm teaching to video if this is connecting, if it's making sense. So I've got 3 more examples to look at here. So I want to kind of imagine I'm telling someone about my day, my morning, right? I might say something like, I saw my old boss at the supermarket, right? I didn't have a plan. I just, right? I have my eyes open. I'm grocery shopping. I'm at a supermarket. I see this particular person, right? So I used my sense of sight. And then while I'm shopping, right, I maybe would say I looked at my shopping list on my phone. So here I'm directing my gaze at something or onto something. Okay. And maybe it's a quick thing, right? Oh, did I get bananas? Great. Did I get eggs? Got it. All right. I'm on to the next thing. Another example, I watched the employees bag groceries while I waited to check out. Right? So now I've directed my sight and I'm continuing it, right? This is not a quick thing, right? Maybe the line was very long, right? So I had some time to wait. And so I watched them bag the groceries, put things into bags for customers. One other little note, I've had students ask about this before, so I'm going to point out one similarity. And you will hear many Americans use both the verb see and watch as they talk about movies, TV shows, even the theater. So one person might say to you something like, have you seen any good movies lately? A second person might say to you, have you watched any good movies lately? It's going to have the same meaning. I will note that C tends to be a bit more informal, but it's not bad if you're making small talk with someone. It's a perfectly okay question. We tend to be kind of informal as we have conversations with our friends, our family, and even about informal topics like movies. So, if you say the following, they're going to see Wicked on Broadway, or you say they're going to watch Wicked on Broadway, your meaning is going to be the same and people will understand you. I hope this video has helped you understand what's different and what's similar about the verbs see, look, and watch. Thanks so much for watching this video, right? Because you've hopefully continued to keep your eyes focused on the screen for a period of time. Have a great day.